They just want you to sit in your chair and go hip hip hooray for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old every single day without the truth. Please watch the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Hi everyone. Good evening. There's in my glasses, with those wipes, that you get. I was trying to get, unfold it. It was terrible. It was like that pelican. But anyway, good evening from me. And I'll just go on to see who's here. How you all are. Myra, lovely Myra. Hi Frank and friends, hope you're having a lovely day. It's so over to be honest. Even if Franco in chat says, Simon, hope you're all looking forward to the weekend. I was watching a AI Jazeera that Ukraine have cranked up their conscription patrols to boost the numbers at the front line. Yeah, 60 and believe it or not, they're dragging in 14-year-olds. And the West is allowing this, by the way, escalating. The vast majority older men who are being beaten, tear gassed and detained, prompting many to cry and flee. The unlucky ones are forced to volunteer for military service. Absolutely right. You're so right, Simon. White-haired men being dragged off the streets. Would you ever consider and even discuss on Russia and its transformation from the Soviet Union, its culture, history, ideology, complicated relationship with the West? Thank you. Well, I more or less do it. I've done it before, in the past, Simon. I've done it in the past, and even a few weeks ago, I don't know when it was, but I was talking about the Soviet Union after the Second World War, because the Balkan states and these other different states that was in the Soviet Union, they had Nazis there. And I'm talking about the citizens of those places, because they just hated Russia. They just hated Russia. So they joined the SS. So when they got to Berlin, Second World War, they made a massive buffer zone right down to, from Berlin, East Germany, you might as well say, right through down to Austria. But with the Allies and whatever, they were negotiating with the Soviets. They said, listen, Austria. Because Austria, don't forget, that's where the H was born. That's where he was born. And there was lots of Nazis there in the German army. Austrians. So they said, okay, the Soviets said, okay, yeah, we'll just give it back. But they said they have to be neutral. That's the reason why. Now today, right now, they're trying to be unneutral, shall we say, against Russia, because that's what the West want. Everybody. They're looking at Azerbaijan now and Armenia. They're getting to them, the Americans, that is. It's absolutely turn against Russia. I heard that Putin has suggested meeting Trump in an Arabian nation next week. No Zelensky. Yeah, no, he definitely won't be there in attendance. I think there's much chance of breakthrough as Starmer's migrant deal working with France. I have to change my glasses. Just goes. The eyes start to go after a little while. Anyway, Starmer's migrant deal working with, yeah. And what's Putin going to say to Trump? What's he going to say? Well, I should have said, what's Trump going to say to Putin today for a seat? There's no way there's going to be a ceasefire, especially with Kellogg's demands. This is what Trump wants. Kellogg's. No way. No way. No way there's going to be a ceasefire. Hello, Frank. You should keys to live it. What? You should keys to live it. What's that? Has there been a little misprint there or something? Want to say to Franco, I hope you're well. Can't wait for tonight's chat, says the lovely Bella Italia. Thank you. How lovely Myra's with us. I've made up that Myra's with us. Hi, Edward, she says. I'm going to ask you the question in a minute. It's one question, it's a two. Simon, hi Myra and Edward. George said, Frank, I am so sorry that I can't be on live chat tonight. If the Titanic conspiracy is being discussed, I can debunk any and all theories with resource evidence and facts, perhaps another day. Well, today, no problem, George. See you soon. I'll see you soon. Disgrace that Starmer refusing to set up judge inquiry into the Mulligan-Tyre Chinny tragedy in 1994, although the pilots were later exonerated. The true story of poor maintenance has always been withheld. And Myra, hi Simon. The docks are now sealed until 2094, but it has been known for a long time that they were maintained properly to save costs. Troops' lives were put at risk up to the first Iraq War when a whistleblower came out. Christopher. Hi Frank and everyone. Like and subscribe. Russianara Ali as some brass neck renting out property on fixed contracts, putting up for sale and relisting at higher rent. The very thing being banned under the Renters Act. It's a disgrace, says Sam. Your mate Stephen Mulholland. Good evening, everyone. See how polite Stephen is. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Steve. Good evening, Frank, says Johan, and legends in the chat. Hope everyone is well. I know that Nicolas Maduro is in Caracas, Venezuela. I can call the White House to collect the 50 million bounty. Did I put it off there? clown world. It wasn't Coco. It wasn't Coco. See, this is why they're trying to get Maduro out, you see, out of Venezuela. What's Venezuela got? Besides coffee beans, they've got oil, they've got resources. This is why they want puppets in. America wants to, they've always said it. I said it when I was 18 or 19. I said America wants to police the world. This is why the Cold War was going on. Just imagine what they would have done, America, if then the Soviet Union hadn't had nuclear weapons. What they would have done to China today, if China had no nuclear weapons. What they would have done to North Korea, if they wouldn't have, because the North Koreans said first place to go was Guam, South Korea and Guam, but all the Americans there. We just blow them to smithereens. So they just came out and said it. Kim Jong-un, Gary, Frank, hey Gary. Johan, Frank, have you seen the video of the Ukrainian football fans shouting Zeke Heil? Definitely not Nazi behaviour. That there's no, haven't you heard, Johan? There's no Nazis. There's no Zeke Heils in Ukraine. Yeah, I have seen it actually. I have seen it. One fella came out, some journalist, and said, "Oh, that was in Croatia. That was and then he had to redact that, and then go back on what he said." You see how propaganda works. And the other newspaper, "Oh yeah, they were Croatian." This is how it works. Propaganda, making you believe, but then he had to go back and say, "Oh no, I was wrong. My apologies. It was in Ukraine, and it was a Ukrainian football team." And the Azovs, did you notice they were all young men doing that? It's like when, Trump was having problems with Elon Musk at the time. And later, and he said, the papers were saying that when he went like that to his friends, just saying hello, but he turned all around Musk. And they were trying to say that he was doing Nazi salutes. Please stop it. And Drake Mayo said, "Stop the boats. The migrant crisis is Kalergi plan happening in front of us. No women or children, just military-age men. Something big is going down soon." I've said that all along. I've said it all along. And you notice they've got better phones than me. Got better phones than me. They really have. Better dressed. Seen them getting interviewed last year, a young lad. And he was on his way to Leeds to see a family. This is an illegal immigrant dressed. And I've got an Armani coat there. I paid a hell of a lot of money for it. And I mean a lot. And yet he's sitting there with a cracking Armani leather jacket on. and a fantastic phone, brand new. And he said, I've been told to go to such a place to get me fare up to Leeds. Believe it. He's just sitting down on a bench being interviewed. So you're right there, Drake. It's shocking the way it's gone. And Gary says, Paul McCartney and Ken Dodds had the keys to Liverpool. I think Frank should be the mayor. Me, be the mayor. Yeah, I know Ken did. And McCartney. I think all the Beatles got it, didn't they? The key to the city. Or the keys to the city. I meant to say you should have the keys to Liverpool. Thank you. Let's hope that they'll give me them. Not too many run-ins. All for the good of Liverpool, by the way. Because Ray had there was an annex to, it's a big hotel now. It's a big hotel in Dale Street, not the Loft. These were, how can I put it? It was the council chambers, really. That's where the council was, on Dale Street, not the town hall. And they had an annex to it. That used to be the Conservative Club. Beautiful place, beautiful. And anyway, I went in there once and I was looking around. You know, it was empty. I was looking around. Beautiful inside. Absolutely amazing. And anyway, he gets a phone call. And I said, Frank, are you doing anything at the moment? And I said, no. I said, I've got a lecture this afternoon. Why? He said, get down here. So it goes down. I goes down to this annex that I've been in. And there was fellas outside from Bolton. You know, the Bolton outside. The doors were actually chained. Big heavy chain, big padlock like that. And they were waiting to get in. And I said to them, what are you waiting to get in here for, boys? He said, oh, we're waiting for the van, you know, we're going in and this is going to be a wine bar and we've got to take out loads of stuff and wait for these fitters to come in with new stuff. I said, what are you doing then? What stuff are you taking out? And he said, the toilets. Now, I'd been in the toilets a couple of weeks previous just to have a look. And if you've seen the Philharmonic toilets, pub that is, these were well better. Incredible. Victorian. The staircase was incredible as well. And that's what they were taking away to put a new one in. They were taking away the toilets, they were taking away other things, and they were going in to smash them all up. I shot straight along to, I said to the town, I said, you better stop this. This is criminal. This is demolition on a huge scale. Criminal demolition of an iconic building, the interior of an iconic building. Anyway, they didn't do it. And it was made up. But you see, do you get the pattern? They bring in people from the outside to do these jobs. Done it loads of times. They wanted to smash down the Lyceum in the 80s to put a stupid, you know, covered little shopping arcade there. I couldn't believe it. To take all that down. an 1801 building for a little glass shopping arcade, which go out of fashion anyway. That's why Liverpool won. And nowhere, glass roofs or anything like a shopping arcade. They had open streets and it's very successful. Not like the Trafford Centre. And Snapey says, my mate lived in Captain Smith's old house in Hanley, Stoke-on-Trent. It had an extension put in 2004. I built it. It's in Wells Street on the outskirts of the city centre. Captain John Smith, I've seen his house up in Crosby. Is that of the Titanic? Is that the fella? Stay. I filmed it actually for the BBC. Anyway, Simon says, what the hell is going on with the government? Even the Cooper is coming out saying, Yvette here, coming out saying a law is being passed to ban boats being overloaded and the chief of staff's dad making a lot of money with hotel. Someone's making a hell of a lot of money. Evening one and all. Evening Steve. Drake Mail. Is this a forum where differences of opinion are acceptable without being blocked or removed? I love talking about current affairs. Yes, Drake. Say what you want. So if you get a chance, there is a YouTube video by Peter Lloyd who writes for the Times, The Strange Death of Liverpool. A very eye-opener. What's really going? Been doing it for years. It's ever since the managed decline of Liverpool. The managed decline of Liverpool. Lots of funds and stuff for Liverpool. Lots of it. And I'm talking millions. Thatcher started it. Thatcher. Franco, you won't believe it, says Bella. I was in hospital in Liverpool waiting for a scan, and a lady came into the desk and asked and said, we have got massive list for scans to be done on migrants today. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it, Bella. Look, my daughter, when she broke up with her fella, right? So she had, I've got two grandsons, as you know. One's coming home today from Thailand because he's been fighting over it. One of them time boxing fella. I haven't a clue what they are, but anyway, he does all this. And she had to go on a list, the housing, and she went up. She put a bid in for the house. She said, that'll do me because, as you know, I've got a granddaughter, I've got a grandson, he's 21 now. The fighter. But they're living with the mother in a 3-bedroom house. And it's shocking because Sophie is now 13, and as I said, Ben's 21. And then you've got the mother, then you've got Francine's mother as well. Where they all supposed to say? But anyway, they put that over. Got another grandson, James, who's in law. but he doesn't live there. He's with his partner somewhere else. So anyway, what had happened was she was talking about this bid to this girl, it was her turn, she went told. And she was saying, but, I really need a home. I really need, she gave all the details of, the split and everything. Can't you go back? No, would you go back? You want to know if you can go back? She said, no way. No way will I go back to it. No way. So anyway, she said, well, we're sorry. There's nothing down. That house is going. She said, what do you mean going? She said, well, it'll be gone by the time that, your bid's gone through. So she said, okay. She's just got up and walked out. But some fella who was behind the girl who she was talking to, was standing there. He came out, obviously worked there. And he shouted Francine. She turned, yeah. He said, did you see the people on the left? He said, yeah. He said, well, they're the priority. You've been here, I don't know whether it was 3 days or 5 days, and they're the priority. In other words, no fucking chance. So they came in and I had to wait 4 hours. It was like that when I went to the dentist. There was loads of people, and all of a sudden this this family came in, went to the reception. Now I'd already been sitting there for 2.5 hours, and they walked right in, went to the reception. She pointed, she said, hang on. This girl came, like, I don't know, a dental nurse or something, and brought them right through. Not one little group, 2 little groups, because another one came afterwards. And people were moaning, saying, hang on, we've been here hours. And I was brought up by a friend of mine, but I said, come on, let's go. I said, no, sir. I said, no, because we'll be here all day. Because the way these people are before us, those people who have just gone in now, there could be more coming in, and they're going to be priority. So you see, it's affecting everybody. The EU gives awards to leaders of countries who allow the most migrants in. We pay more taxes now than 50 years ago, and we are in the more debt as a country than then. How? Because of stupid governmental. Look, Liverpool is full of migrants. Now, migrants, like my family are migrants, the Italian side, and lots of other Italian families who live in the city. There's Chinese. There's loads, and I can give you the history of everyone coming into Liverpool. Some wanted to get out of Liverpool over to, you'd only come here to get to America, but, you find a place great. Oh, yeah, and they got work and stayed. So this city is a city built on migrants, if you know what I mean. But today, as we see with our own eyes, these people, these boat people, they haven't got kids. There's no mothers. There's nothing like that. They're all young people, the majority of them. And you've got to ask yourself, hang on, how come they're coming in? Now, we've had terrorist attacks. Terror attacks by terrorists. You've only got to look at Manchester. So that's just one example. Remember there in London, and the buses, bang, blew up. And unfortunately, our police, special branch, ran after this fella. He's got on went into the tube, forget what tube station, gets on it, the tube, and he gets shot dead. And he was Brazilian, he had nothing at all to do with it. Do you ever remember that? But they're what you call terrorist attacks. And the cells here. And what surprised me more than most, believe it or not, suppose I went, all us here on the chat, we all went over to America and our little community. So we didn't want the American law, we wanted the British law in place. The British law. How would the Americans, what would they say? Even France, what would France say? What would any country say if we wanted British law in their country? What would they say? Instead of just saying, oh, they'd throw you out. But we've got 40 odd Sharia law courts that doesn't view the British law as legitimate. Do you see what I mean? They don't view the British law as legitimate. They want their Sharia law. And you know what the Sharia law means, don't you? You know what their law is. I'm not talking about ordinary Muslims who, live and work and whatever in the country. Ciao Franco, ciao everybody. I'm out for a walk, but I've got my earbuds in. That's nice. Hey, it's Oscar. Gary, look at the cabin walks in Clayton Square Shopping Centre. White elephants. Gary. Simon to Snapey. He lived at 17 Marine Crescent in Waterloo from 1898 to 19. Bruce's mate only lived at 100 yards away. Yep, filmed his own as a set for the BBC. Captain John Smith. Snapey, yes, Smith was born and bred in Hanley. We call him Smudge the Sinker, unfortunately labelled, I always thought. But yeah, Captain Smith's house has a brass plaque on it. He owned two in the same street. Well, he owns the biggest one now, doesn't he? That's a couple of miles down the Atlantic, bottom of the Atlantic. Simon Franco. The YouTube video refers to the impact of illegal migrants on the city and isn't being told by the media and our politics. I will let people watch it, make their own views, stoke opinions. I've seen a video, and I mentioned this, about Liverpool. This lads, going around, Liverpool lads. I went, put this on. This was only last week. Just put it on. And what I seen shocked me. Shocked me. And it's about the top of Hatton Garden, the bottom of Hatton Garden, and St John's Gardens. Shocked me. couldn't get the fella's name. You never seen his face. He had this funny name, like the way you put names up, and you don't really know the instead of the real name. So he has one of these alias names, pseudonym sort of name. So I couldn't find out who he really was, but God bless me, it didn't half shock me. Have you seen Sheer Road and Smithtown Road, Lodge Lane and the... Yep, Gary. Yep. Yep. So how was Rachel Reeves planning to do a Paul Daniels? He has a 22 black and white hole. Find money for Ukraine 5-star hotel trips to the zoo and circus money for betting. Now we have 50 billion NZ. Who suffers? That's right. That's him. A Deca Media channel. That's him. That's him. Who's going around? Just shocked me. It shocked me. Couldn't believe it. That's the way my city is. And I'm not just saying my city, it's every other city now throughout the UK. And Toscana says, I know an ex-army veteran who has to sleep on his mum's settee when he inquires about social housing. He was told, sorry, not for you, lad. We found out that they are for illegals. Yes. I'll have a look at that, Gary. He posted a new one today, Frank. It's shocked. I'll have a look. But it's upsetting, you see. Can I ask you a question? It's a double one. It's a double question. And it's this. Do you believe before our very eyes that we're watching a genocide taking place today? And also, the person who's committing this genocide, and we all know who it is, would you support him? That's the question. Yes or no? Johan, yes, of course. Myra, yes. I really need you to answer. Ambidextrous, yes. And Myra, yes, I know what she means, and no. About supporting this particular person who's masterminding. Johan, no for the second one. Christopher, question 1, yes. Question 2, no. Gary, I believe that I'm worried about the future. I live on my own, and I'm a bit scared about who's going to move into the... Don't blame you. Simon, it is totally shocking. Bella, Franco, we treat our veterans really bad on the street. No web for them. And some have been tossed out of their homes to make way for the migrants. Yeah, of course. Of course. Now, I'll tell you why I asked that question. Of course. Tell you why I asked that. I was talking to someone today, and what had happened was this particular person said that people misunderstand why Israel is doing this. And I got back and I said, are you agreeing with genocide that's happening in Gaza? He gets back to me. And he said, it's not genocide. And he tried to explain to me, tried to give me a history lesson. And he said, it's not it's genocide's a systematic way of getting rid of a race of people. I said, well, what's happening there? So he's going backwards and forth, and I just went, oh, fuck this. So anyway, I just said, I'm sorry, but you're having a clue what's going on. And he supports Israel. He supports Israel and what Netanyahu is doing. Couldn't believe it. And this fella's been on my podcast. This fella, I should have invited him on tonight and let him explain. He's been on my football podcast, he's a vet. I thought, a fucking red supporting fucking Israel. He said it's not a genocide. He even said it's not a systematically thing, getting rid of people. He thinks they're doing nothing wrong. He's never seen the footage that I've seen of little babies being slaughtered. Yesterday was it? I seen a little leg that big of a baby. And I seen a little bit of propaganda as well. Oh, he mentioned propaganda. That it's all propaganda. Seen it. Even being, I've got cataracts. Fucking see what's going on. Ambidextrous. No, and Carnegie Hall, Carnegie Libraries, the big rich steel industrialist. He didn't give a fuck about his workers in America. Yet he was building a library. He built a couple of libraries here. He didn't like them at all, the Americans. Farage says all this back in 2015 was laughed and scorned, whether you like him or not. He was right, says Simon. Well, you could go back to the 60s and Enoch Powell. And he said it'll be the what did he say? The streets of blood. Question 1, yes. Question 2, no, says Bella Italia. And Simon says, sadly, Netta is doing anything but keep himself out of jail. Yes. And doing it, he's killing people to keep him out of jail. And also to bomb Iran to keep him out of jail. Because September's coming. Remember? When he bombed Iran. And they said, oh, you know, we're at war now, we can't bring him to court. He fucking did it that week. Then when all that was over, and he went forward, and they went, oh, you know, what can we do next? Because he was due up in court. Then he went, oh, I'm sick. So they banned it until, you know, the Lord, they're all fucking phony over there. And America got the judge sacked. The prosecution got them all fucking sacked. Who were going to prosecute him? So you see how complicit America is in all this. And us. We're giving arms to them. I was looking at something before. In the 4 years, I didn't like Biden one bit. He was horrible then. Just a divvy. And he had 555 bombs dropped during his tenure. Right? You know, in Ukraine, obviously, giving the fucking bombs and everything too. And in 6 months, Trump, who's after a Nobel Peace Prize, has dropped 536 in 6 months. You can't make all this stuff up. I fear for the remaining hostages as he won't stop until Hamas is completely he'll never destroy Hamas. He'll never do it. He will never, ever, 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 ever do it. And he wants the Lebanese to disarm Hezbollah. See, look. I don't know whether you remember the troubles here we had with the Irish, the IRA. Right? Now, the British went in and occupied in 1566 Ireland under the guise of Sir Humphrey Gilbert. Right? He went over there. And he'd been occupying it since, right? And then in the 1920s, this is from 1566, then in the 1920s, they went, yeah, not this. But we want to hold on to 6 counties, Northern Ireland. So they held on to Northern Ireland. You see, they still got this empire, colonialism stuck in their heads. It's all gone. Everything is gone. Colonialism. This is why America are doing it now. They've got an empire. Who are the vassal states? All of Europe. All of Europe are the vassal states. So now you've got the axis, the axis of evil. And who are they? North Korea, Iran, Russia. China. Who are they at war with? Why do they want to go into Iran? Iran's never attacked anybody, and they just say, oh, they're supplying terrorists. Who are the fucking biggest terrorists? Who are the biggest terrorists on the planet? Oh, they're supplying terrorists. Is that it? Oh, they support Hamas and Hezbollah. Oh, is that it? You've got to look at the Palestinians. Look at their plight. Do you know if they never had Hamas behind them, would there be any Palestinians left? Let me know. If Lebanon had no Hezbollah, would there be any Lebanese left? It's like the IRA. The IRA, they were the Irish Republican Army, and they fought the British. They fought the British. Hang on, I got it. Oh, my daughter's coming down. She's doing something for me. And anyway, message of Jason as well. So you see, it's just a matter of everything combined. And if the Irish, I'm being honest here, you know, if there's any Irish looking in, if there'd been no IRA, there wouldn't be a Republic of Ireland today. Do you understand? And the atrocities we caused against them throughout the years. So you see, any sort of country that occupies another country, Gary says, Frank and everyone, have you seen the Charles Veach channel? He's been in Liverpool. The future. Charles, there's a fella there. He was in our school, college. Charles Veach. This fella nearly blew up to this Charles Veach, you know. He was talking football with that. You know what they call it? And Charlie was there. This is science. Charlie was in a little corner with his Bunsen burners and nearly blew the fucking lot of us up. I wonder if it's the same fella. No, I haven't seen it. No. I'll Google that. I'll Google that, and I'll Google that other fella as well. Sorry, I missed the question. My son phoned me, says Toscana. I'm just saying, I'll just give you the one question. I said, are we witnessing with our two eyes today genocide going on? That's all. And also I said, do you support the person who's committing this genocide? Johan, if you bend over backwards defending the slaughter of children, then I'm sorry, but even God can't save your soul. It's powerful, right? Gary says the Rivers of Blood speech, 1968 by Enoch Powell. And apparently Donald Trump ran as the peace candidate. Trump pulled a con job in his MAGA base. Of course, Johan, he did. That's why there's murder over there now. And he's still wanting to get... Look, I'm not being funny when I say this, but they put him up. Netanyahu put him up for a fucking peace prize. Netanyahu. You might as well have dug up fucking Hitler and say, yeah, get his vote as well for the Peace Prize. Fucking hell. I can't believe it. And that's what I said. He's just a smidgen away from dropping more bombs in 6 months down. Biden did it in his old tenure. I know it sounds mad, but it's true. Even a Frank, even a two. Nick Falkley. I haven't seen you for a while, Nick. You deserted our football pod. Yeah, deserted us. We had Isak on last night. We had him on the phone and he said, yeah, I'm coming to Liverpool. He said, don't be worried. I said, will you come on the show and show your face when you finally come over? And he said, yeah, Tefo. So you missed out on that, Nick. Simon, Frank, what realistically is the solution for Israel-Palestine question? It's as different from the Northern Ireland conflict as paramilitaries moved from the Armalites to army. Look, you had Sinn Féin. They were the political thing of the IRA, the political wing of the IRA. So they were the diplomats. But unfortunately, no one wants to speak to Hamas. They do. They say, oh, we'll have a ceasefire. But you're having a ceasefire so that, now don't forget, through Ukraine, there's no arms to there's no arms to give them. It's terrible, no weapons or anything. So they have a ceasefire so that they can restock. They want to attack Iran. And you're getting Netanyahu now, who's a war criminal, and he's got the international court who's got a bounty on his head. But he can travel, go over to America, get standing ovations and everything of Congress. But as I said, I think Trump will get a peace prize. Because if you go back, you've only got to look at Obama. He got one. He got one. And look what he did to Libya and also Syria. Obama. And he got a peace prize. How the fuck can you get peace prizes? By bombing fucking people and murdering them and whatever. And telling lies about, well, there wasn't propaganda, it was just pure unadulterated lies. Sorry to swear and that, but it really boils me. Gary, it won't be the same fella, Frank. No, Charlie Ricci, mate. What is he, a lot younger than me? That's a strange name, isn't it? Charlie Beach. But he was all up. He blew us all up. And he turns around, holding his little Bunsen burner like that. Well, and his hair was standing up. And he was like blackened. And all the massive window was fucking smashed. And all the pain came at us. How he survived, I don't know. Charlie Beach. Simon says, Also, the IRA campaign came to a conclusion and accepted the Stormont administration because MI6 had infiltrated the leadership, and it took 25 years to realise the futility of the campaign. And Donald kissed the wall, Frank, showed us his allegiance, says ambidextrous. Yeah. And what are they doing, kissing a fucking wall? It's wrong. Oh, Nick says, I've been in a slump for a while. Business is terrible. Still recover. Oh, Nick, should have told it. Should have got us a message, mate. Is there any way you can get hold of me? Genuine, if I can help out. Stephen Mulholland. I'm surprised it hasn't changed to make it. Yeah, that's what they're saying, Stephen. And this is what they're doing. Look, I can't fucking show you it. Let me see. Have we got it on my phone? You talk about Americans, right? Can you see that? No, I'll wait till Jason get home. I've said, put this up, please. He said, I will when I get in, because he's on his way home. I tell you, they're fucking unbelievable. Just off ordinary Americans tweeting. They haven't a fucking clue. Have you noticed, Trump's been getting asked I don't know about that. When he was told about men being dragged off the streets, didn't know nothing about that. In Ukraine, that is. I didn't know nothing about that. How many Ukrainians, over 1 million, 1.5 million, being killed? I didn't know about that. Because that was the Russians. Does he know, or is he getting this off his bad advisors, the neocons, the deep state, the Russophobes? So you're right there, Stephen. Every war we have ever had, and every religion has always had different acts on. Make a note of that. It might be important. Toscana, yes and no, but I have to admit I find it complicated to understand. Not to understand. If you've seen Toscana, what I look at and what I've been looking at, you'll be sick to the stomach. It'll give you nightmares. It's shocking. Can anybody on here remember a little girl? She was about 4 years of age. She was dressed in one of those princess frozen dresses, blue, and it was all dirty because whoever said it, she must have been naked, woken up full of fucking rubbish. And they must have put this dress on, and she was mindless, beautiful little face, covered in dirt, dust, whatever. And she was mine, and she was just walking up. And they gave her the nickname the Little Princess because it was a little princess's dress she had on. And I was looking at the George Galloway show, and I used to comment on it, I don't anymore. And I commented on it. And I said, has anybody known about it? Has anybody heard anything about the Little Princess, known as the Little Princess? And George read it out. And he said, Frank, she's dead. That hurt me. Because my granddaughter, around her age, had the same dress on. That little child is dead. In Gaza. And this prick today, I fucked him right off. And you know him. He's been on a few times on my pod. Football pod, that is. Fucking support. He said it's not a genocide. And the way he was going on, you know, like fucking Netanyahu was a war hero. It's enough, me. I just went over the fucking enough of you, lads. I said, fuck off. I should have kept the text, you know, the messages. Because he's telling you and me that we're misunderstanding what's going on in Gaza. I said, I know what's fucking going on in Gaza. Genocide. No, it's not. It's all a load of crap, I'm sorry to say, says Tina. Life has been a load of pointless bollock voting and pricks who are on our side that just shaft us, says T. Yes. Precisely. We're getting shafted all the time. But who does the shafters? Who does all the shafters? Who does it all? It's America. Since 1776, America hasn't been involved since 1776. And don't forget, they never won it. It was the French who fucking won it. Without the French, you'd have still been they still belong to our colonial empire. Just joking. But honestly, since 1776, America hasn't been involved, honestly, up until right today and fucking tomorrow and next week. 6 wars. That's all. They've been involved in every fucking war since 1776, with the exception of 6. He's younger and from Edinburgh, says Gary. All right, thanks. You didn't have to say he's younger. Why didn't you just say he's from Edinburgh, Frank? I like that. And Barry says, I'm with you, Toscana, but do you think it's possible to have a dialogue with Hamas or Hezbollah? Is it possible to have, you've just gone against what? No, you've gone, how can I put this? You've gone against what I've always said about the West. The West hasn't had any dialogue with Vladimir Putin over Ukraine. And it's only this dope, Trump, who's saying we're going to meet. Know what I mean? Just as an email there. Francis, get your glasses updated this week. I only got them a couple of months ago. Cost me hundreds of pounds. So you've got to, look, you've got to have dialogue to stop fucking wars, Barry. You've got to. No matter who's in charge or who isn't in charge. Johnny, hiya Johnny. Frank, I heard that Ian Paisley used to play over at Blossoms when secretly visiting Liverpool. I seen him here when the Pope came, Pope John Paul II, up by the building when he was going to the cathedral. He'd just been to the Anglican and was going along. Where was he going along? It wasn't Oak Street. Was it Oak Street? Not quite. Yeah, by Oak Street, but I was by the building. Was there. And Paisley was there with his crowd going boom, shouting obscenities. He soon got fucking stopped though, Paisley. Soon got fucking stopped. Is that you, Francine? That's my daughter. Sleeping. Yeah, he used to come over. I tell you when he used to come over. Sometimes it was the same week that the 12th was coming up. And he used to give little talks and that. And he was one of the instigators of this city to stop the 17th of March St. Patrick's celebrations. We don't have them now. Albeit, like, there's more Catholics in this city than there are non-Catholics. And that's so because of all the Poles that's come over. Polish, they're all Catholic. Crazy. Gandhi, Mandela, Arafat, Adams, and McGuinness, etc. Were they peacemakers or terrorists? Well, Gandhi was a peacemaker. Mandela was a peacemaker. Arafat was a peacemaker. Adams and McGuinness, they were the mouthpiece. They wanted peace. They wanted stability. But unfortunately, through propaganda, they all get labeled with terror. It's so easy to label anybody like a racist or a Russophobe or a Islamophobe or any phobia, if you know what I mean. Homophobia, anything you could be labelled with today. Anti-Semite, anything. You've only got to say the word, oh, you're an anti-Semite, anti-Semitic, you're a racist. See, yes, look, Israel, I'll just say this, remember a couple of years ago, there was kids throwing rocks at these snipers. The snipers were well hidden, you know what I mean? It, fucking stones throwing. And two snipers, now, I hope you've read this. Two snipers, and he wounds one of them. And he goes down, kid. And he's just lying there in agony. And this, Francine, just 1 minute. France. Soviet Union. So I was going to ask you to take that one. Francie. I say hello, Sophie, to all these people because they all asked them. We'll say hello. What? Loads. Say hello. That's my granddaughter. Tell them where you're going tomorrow.
London.
Tell them. We're about in London. And down and tell them.
Houston, and then Sunday, Wembley.
With a kit on.
FTK.
I can see you.
What is it?
You're glad?
Yeah.
There you go.
Is this a history or?
No, it's like current affairs, baby. Current affairs. Talking about what's going on.
He's got Man United.
No, I know he's a nice fella. Johan. She said, there's a Man United fan. Man United. Yeah, the Princess of Gaza.
You like the content?
They killed her, Frank. Okay.
I'll be on there.
Okay, babe.
See you later.
See you later. There's a one of those magnums in the, if you want. Yeah, I know, Johan. At George Galway. Did you ever see her, Johan? She was beautiful, beautiful little child. And this fella today, saying this fucking, I couldn't believe it. Oh, she'd never heard me. Barry to TW, you're right. What's the point of voting in this country? And why are we always in the centre of everything that goes on in the world as though we can wave a magic wand to fix it? What are we doing in Ukraine? Why are we giving them billions? You know, you've been talking about the homeless here in our own country, and everything's being given to these asylum seekers, these boat people, while people are left homeless. So why are they giving billions? They're taking money from pensioners to give money to Ukraine. What has Ukraine ever done to us and for us? What have they ever done? Good shout that, Barry, by the way. I see the world being slowly transformed into a wilderness. I hear the approaching thunder that one day will destroy us too. I feel the suffering of millions. I'm Frank. What was happening to Anne Frank is happening to the Gazans today, the Palestinians. Let that sink in. You know, our wonderful American friends, this is just one thing. Get onto this. These are the people who run the world or want to run the world. Why do Brits speak English, an American language, rather than speaking some European language? That was a tweet. There was loads of other tweets. And another tweet said, oh, apologies, Scotland is a country. I didn't know that. And how can two countries be in one country? How can South Africa be in Africa? What Maria? Simon, maybe if JFK had been around today, maybe the world may not be in such a bad place. He once said, mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind. Did the warmongers extinguish him? Yes. Yeah. And all that Warren thing, commission, phony. Absolute phony. Cover up. Been doing more cover ups than you as a 100-year-old person has been pulling sheets over the shoulders of a mate. I don't know why I put that. Sorry there. Of course they did. Look, you've only got to look at Trump, and as like Stephen Mulholland, he said, didn't he? He got in on his ticket of peace. He got in on his ticket of peace. So they tried to do a minute. Yeah, go on. Is it?
Yeah, but I'll be back, so please go to stay.
Oh, good.
We can't stay too long.
No, okay.
You stay here at night.
Take me keys, Francie.
I've got keys.
No, I want you to go. Take my keys and go to my letterbox. See if there's any letters. The little key, they're only the littlest ones on there. Franco, we are weak, the weak people we are. That's supposed to take care of the country. Are weak mindless, and that's why other countries take and laugh at us, says Bella. Callum, and football is so back. What's the right of it? All we are saying is give peace a chance, says Christopher. That's why they done Lennon in. If you think that Chapman, telling you now, he was going around here, thousands and thousands of followers. Should have seen New York when he was singing Xmas War is Over, give peace a chance. Gets you to this fella, and he did. 40 years of age. Johann Frank, perhaps because the Americans have another modern war on their land, they don't understand the severity of it, hence the constant warmongering. You're so right. Honestly, you're so right. And Nick Fowley, Trump is a tariff maker. That's all he does. Why do America put tariffs on it? What fucking right have they got to sanction anybody and put tariffs on them if you don't comply to their wishes or to their ideology? Franco, honestly, I think there is dialogue and secret channels going on. I don't trust America or the Brits. They all lie. The Brits lied for years with the IRA, sadly. It's part of a lot of conflicts. Yes. Yes. Polo. Hi, Frank. I know you're of Italian heritage. Is it true you can tell where a person from their second name, Lazio, Tuscany, Umbria, Campania? Well, if you speak with a Tuscany accent, you speak perfect Italian. And if you go down to Napoli, it's like talking to Andy Robertson after he's had about a bottle of scotch or something. Very hard to understand. The dialect, you see, different dialects. And I suppose Bella Italia, who's only a Toscana, they speak perfect. You notice Tuscany, perfect Italian. Polo wins. I love that. Donna, she's just gone out. She's just ran down the thing. I'll tell her, Donna. Okay, when she comes in. If you're still with us. She's only gone on a little message. Toscana. My confusion is I don't know enough about history of the situation. I can't understand why both sides want to destroy each other. Well, it goes back to 1948 and some scouser named Balfour. And he said, I tell you what, we had a little meeting. I tell you what, we give the Jews a piece of land in Palestine. And they can all settle there. Biggest fucking mistake we made. This is where you have all the problem. See, Israel, what they want, look, I don't want to give you a history lesson, honestly. When Bashar al-Assad was Syria was one of the main 7 countries that America wanted. This fella named fucking General Clark. And the rest, there was a couple of African ones. There was Syria, there was Libya, there was Afghanistan, there was Iraq, and then the last one on the list that they're going after is Iran. Now, if you look at a map, Israel wants all that. They want a corridor to call it Israel. They don't want a little piece of land, and that's been in the planning since 1948, to take all this. And it's brilliant, but it would be brilliant. God, and this is why you have all the problems today. But you've got the Americans who are backing them, because in all those countries there are resources. Have you noticed the way they haven't gone after the Yemenis? Because Yemen has got nothing. Yemen. But the Houthis can take them on. Enjoy the match up the Red, says TW. Oh yeah, she's really looking forward to it. And Paco, you have Magnum ice cream or a Magnum 45? Like, there's a Magnum in the fridge. And Johan says, apologies, my depressing chat came up when your granddaughter. No, don't be worried. Oh, she has a great time in London. Thank you, I'll tell her. She just seen your little emoji there. Man United fan. I don't know whether she's gone over her mum. And Simon says, it's like after World War II. After you mentioned before leading Nazis were saved from the gallows to hell with the atomic program, it's sickening and shows how little is really worth. Yeah, that Braun fella. And space. Michael J. Managed. Have I missed your have I missed your comments? I don't know. It just goes, you see. See, it's all about money, all the way back to E.H. Harriman. See, someone mentioned about JFK. Now, JFK wants a peace. So did Nikita Khrushchev. Just wants a peace. Just want. If you look, Francine, do you know Donna Taylor? Donna Taylor? Oh no, well, she must have been just saying hello to you. Must have been saying hello politely.
You had no mail.
Oh,
We're gonna have to go.
you go.
I've got you all up there.
Come in, well.
But I've just locked on.
Oh, okay.
I've just kept it on, okay?
Okay, babe.
It's got live TV,
Okay.
movies, series.
Okay.
It's not as good as your old one.
It's not what you mean. It's not as good as my old one.
Well, yours had more like movies on it.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. No, don't be worrying about that. That's why I wanted you to do it on the other one, just in case.
Just in case what?
No, it doesn't matter.
Come on. It's just that we've got to go.
I know you have.
I haven't done anything.
Say to that to them all, Sophia, because your mum won't.
Man United fan, but it's fun.
Yeah, the Man United fans said, oh, what's Man United fan, look, what's, yeah, look. He said, apologies, my depressing chat came up when your granddaughter was on. Hope she has a great time in London.
So the way we win the league, not the league, don't know whatever.
We're going to win the Charity Shield and Man United's going to finish. Man United's going to get relegated.
No, they're not.
See you later.
She's only just, she was laughing there.
It's only joking.
I know, she is.
Everton are going to get relegated. Right, I'll see you later, Dad.
Okay, baby.
I'll give you the ring tomorrow.
Give us a ring later on if you've got time.
Okay.
See you later. Ta-ra. She was only messing you, honestly. She was laughing going on there. Simon says to Toscana, we should all learn from George Bernard Shaw. We learn from history that we learn nothing from history. As who was it who said, history will be a wonderful thing if it'll be true. I think it was Leo Tolstoy. And Donna just hits the nail on the head. Why does there have to be a war? Because it makes money. If you look at America, Donna, honestly, if you look at America, America has got this massive military complex that make big bombs and all guns and ammunition, loads of it. And if there's a war, countries need weapons, arms and whatever, bombs and missiles, so they sell them. And the congressmen are like, yeah, because they speak up for the military complexes, the military industry. That's why Netanyahu got a big standing ovation. 57 standing ovations he got. As kids were dying, kids and babies in Gaza. He was getting standing ovations off the American Congress. Can you make it? Can you make that out? I can't. Excuse me. Got that bloody thing back. See, I have to scratch myself. It's mad. Got this bloody thing. This is why your podcast and the links of literature with history are so powerful and relevant to today. The sad thing is we never learned from World War I, the war to end all war. No, because there was a lot of money to be made. America stayed back until the last 11 months when they said, oh yeah, we'll go in, because they cornered the market of everything. That's why they can sanction people. This is why now you've got another thing against it for the de-dollarization of the dollar. And it's called BRICS. And they've been getting at it, the likes of that Lindsey Graham, the likes of, Trump, but they're not going to break it. They're not going to break BRICS. So it'll be the end of the dollar. And it'll be the end of American hegemony, or hegemony, whatever way you want to pronounce it. Hegemony or hegemony. And Johan, Somalia and Sudan were yes, they were. I'm sorry, yeah, Somalia. Well, funny enough, that's why there's loads of Somalians here. People don't realise that. Well done, Johan. Sophie was only joking when she said, "You're going to get there." She was laughing on us. And Christopher says, "Night, Frank, and everyone have a great weekend up the conspiracy vets." Christopher, good night, legend. Have a great weekend, says Johan to Christopher. I finally answered his Christopher. He sent me an email, and I said, "I'll send you an email back." And I didn't. I had a look, only looked at it before. I didn't send it. You know where you've got like sent. I don't like emails or anything. Bella. Oh. Good night, Christopher. That's lovely, though. Honestly, it is, to acknowledge people. Donna Taylor. I've heard that the Bush family are profiting from. You wouldn't Coco. They all are. The Clintons, every one of them. Every one of them, Donna. Every single one of them. And Johan. I think it's going on a lot. Frank, tell Francine I've been watching her comedy sets. Quite funny. Sophia already getting the banter in before the season starts. I'll let Sophia know. I'll give her a little bell later. Oh, but she was honest. She was laughing, going on, joking. She's right on there. Oh, where she doesn't many right of that. She knows the badges, you see. Stephen Mulholland. Yitzhak Rabin wanted peace with Arafat and was assassinated. It was Israel that financed Hamas to undermine the PLO peace process. And no one believes any of that. Stephen, do you ever remember, and everybody else on there, that Begin, the president of, or the prime minister, whatever you call them in Israel, and Thatcher invited them over. And there was demonstrations because that same Begin fella, he was a terrorist, an Israeli terrorist, and he hanged 3 British sergeants from lampposts for the British to get out. And yet, a British Prime Minister invited them over. It's just like what the Americans have done with this Ashwani. $10 million bounty on his head, and they've made him fucking president of Syria. You never known the likes. Come on. Al Qaeda, ISIS, head of ISIS. He's a head chopper. Likes chopping heads off people. And remember that Begum, that girl, the Begum? He went over with her mates to join ISIS. And she ended up marrying one. She had a couple of kids. Her job, do you know where her job was? When they chopped heads off, her job was to pick up the heads and put them in the bin. Did you know that? That Begum one. And Pat says menthol oil is good for it. Is it? But I've got it's all over me stupid head. It's everywhere. It's in the air and everything. Yeah, look, now I'm starting to get it now here. I mean, only around here, you know, but mostly, you know, my face. And besides cataracts, I'm falling to bit. But the beauty of it is that I got the all clear to go to Sicilia next year, Sicily. I just hope I'm strong enough to go next May. Simon, is it true that Boris Johnson is trying to? I'm sure I heard that. Yeah, he is again. Boris fucking Johnson. What's your opinion on Dr. Stephen Gray? I think he's great. I'm still waiting for the ufologist to come up, Johnny. Only, you know, because this is like conspiracies, really. And I'll be doing conspiracies. I'm going to get Jason. Jason's coming down to see me on Sunday. It's before the match. And I'm going to have, like, I'm not a different background. I like this background. I like my little office here. You know what I mean? Because at least you can see me rosary beads. Rosary beads blessed by Pope Francis II. For the little ex-altar boy. And I always remember my mum's mates. I had to get ready in the house because something happened along by the church, you know. So I said, can I get it in church? She said, no, you'll have to do it here. That's why the priest gave you the day to get ready. I said, okay. So I got ready. And the mates would go, oh, he'd make a lovely priest when he grows up. Francis would make a lovely priest. Mayor priest. I think I would have been defrocked within 3 weeks. I sound terrible, don't I? But it was a nice little altar boy, you know. And I called everyone Mr. and Mrs. But all that's gone now, hasn't it? So I think he's great, Johnny. Dr. Stephen Greer. And we will be doing UFOs and things, or UAPs as they're called now. UAPs. And also, Pat, that's where, look, itchy around here. That's why we keep doing that. Very itchy. Back in the ears. Want to see me in bed? Blimey. We get an itch. Oh. Do you see Maxwell getting their clemency? Yeah. The Clintons, dirty Bill, and crooked Hillary. I think something will come out about Bill and Nancy Pelosi involved in Grubby. Inside trading. Inside trading. They've made millions. made millions, Simon. I tell you what, you're on phone tonight, aren't you? She says, will the UFO man be coming back on the pod? Yes, T. I'm going to get a paranormal fella as well. A paranormal fella. I've got a fly in here. Another fucking fly. I hate flies, you know. Well, the UFO man, yeah, definitely. Definitely. There's a couple of UFO fellas, by the way, but I'm waiting for this. Yeah, so I'm going to tell Jason and get this other fella in. He's a nice man, actually. How did Hillary Clinton get off that Benghazi carry-on? Blood on her hands, and the dodginess of the Clinton Foundation makes you sick. That's where all the money's going. It's laundered into it. How much have we got over there, Bill? $840,000. Hill. What about that over there? Oh, there's about fucking 20 million there. I'm not counting that tonight. Everyone's out. Everyone. I always remember, you might think that, like, as an ex-altar boy, you go, oh, should have been a priest. There was three sets of things, and they said, will you give us on the one night? Will you give it, a talk, to our group? And they said, we'll give you this, the X amount. We'll give you this, the X amount. And we'll give you this. And it said, honestly, well, the first one, they said, listen, we can't give you much, because we've only started off, and someone suggested that you come along, so we really can't give you, much. Now, I turned down quite good figures to go to that little thing. And I went in and I gave a talk. You all loved it, to be honest. Only a Liverpool history and things about a couple of VCs and whatever. But you see, it's not. I'm not greedy. I've never asked anyone for anything. It's like, I think one of the lads on here, I'm not quite so sure who it was, mentioned about, who was it? I think it was the vlog, said, shall we give Frank a super chat? No, I don't want super chat. I don't want anything from anybody. Because all as I'm here is doing this to you. You're the main people. That's why I read out, the comments, because they're like, Simon, how did Hillary Clinton get off with the Benghazi carry-on? Blood on her hands, and the dodginess of the Clinton Foundation makes you sick. They're very important points. And she does have a look at, there's a film called, I think it's called Benghazi, with that John Kerensky. That tells you a little bit about it. And you've got the Russiagate as well. She set it up here in Obama to implicate Russia, and that's why it was called Russiagate, in trying to fix the American elections for Trump to get in the first one. And now it's only come out that it was a load of lies. This is why this Pam Bondi now is getting things written out, writs to bring these people to court. Shocking. Corruption. Myra's going. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. Ta-ra, Myra. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, Myra. She's a lovely lady. About the fly. Fly paper's good, Frank. I used to see them in shops, when I was younger. Just hanging down, you see loads of flies on them in the shops. All this brown paper, all the horrible. Is the paranormal fella soon? And is the paranormal woman be coming back? Oh, do you mean Carlyle? Something happened, I'm afraid. I'm sure something. I'll ask Jason. But the paranormal fella, Jamie, yeah, he's coming on. He said anytime you want. But I mightn't have him on tonight. I might have him on there on his own and during the week sort of thing. And he's a big red as well. Are you skipping? No, I'm not skipping any chats. They might be taken off. I don't know. I don't know, Michael. Honestly, mate. No. No. Don't know what. Myra says, take care, everyone. Have a lovely week. Thank you, Myra, sweetheart. Bye, Myra, says her. Frank, I remember when she had the debate with Trump and Bill's victims were in the audience. The way she treated those ladies and the way they were disrespected showed how disgusting woman she is. Yes, Simon, she is. You're priceless, Frank. You can't be bought. You put me in a shop window. I watched that. I just hope my eyes get better this week. It's terrible. Well, we're going to have a heat wave starting Sunday. Starting Sunday, ladies and gents. So I'll be out there to try and get a little bit of vitamin D on my stupid face. Give me a bit of colour. Johan. Apple CEO gifted bribed a gold and glass statue to Trump, and suddenly Apple is exempt from the tariffs against bricks. Who else? Someone gave him a plane, didn't he? I forget who it was. Was it Qatar? Have you seen the plane he was given? Or was it Saudi? Not quite. But Saudi's in bricks. They're terrified. America. Qatar. Thank you. Thank you, Johan. So you see, I'm glad you said that, Johan, simply because they're not like, yeah, there's a gift. It's a fucking bribe. I'm sorry, girls, for swearing. You think that I swear all the time? I don't, you know. Sometimes I do, like, you know. But not all the time. And Johan said a golden plane, yeah. I remember getting a bottle of scotch. you know, when I've given give talks, they always give me a bottle of scotch or whatever. And when I went to that place, you had nothing. And they said, yeah. I said, no, I don't want it. You keep that, you know, build you their little club up. And anyway, this lady came over and went like that. Will you get yourself a drink? I said, I don't want that, please. I said, I don't want it, please. She said, no, just get yourself a drink. So I said, okay, thank you. And I never looked what it was. I just went there, put it in my pocket. She said, thank you so much for coming down and for the generosity that you've shown. I said, I've shown no gent. She said, no, you didn't want any money off us. You didn't want any money. And I said, it's a pleasure, honest. I said, oh, come again, but I'll charge you the next time. And she left. Right? And when I got home, I was driving there, I could drive then, I had my own motor. And then I got home, you know, the way I just got changed. And my one at the time, you know, she always hung my gear up. I do it today, I always hang my gear up. And she came down, she said, what's that? And I said, where'd you get that? She said, out of your pocket that you just, I said, honestly, I said, I can't believe it. It was a £50 note. Get yourself a drink. Beautiful. I can't believe this, you know. Right, I'll go right down and finish off, you people. It sounds nice to finish off, you people. Frank, guys, it's been a great night. Thank you so much for a fantastic debate and open discussion. Thank you. Thank you, Simon. Thank you for Bellatel. Love this lady. Buonanotte, Franco. And lovely chats. Great night of learning. Have a great weekend. Oh, grazie. Grazie. Grazie, cara mia bella. Ci vediamo. Okay. Yes, you do. What? Do what? Yes, you do. What? What? What do you mean? Do you mean like skip your I don't skip any. Honestly. Buonanotte, Valle d'Italia, says Toscana. Joke too. So I said to the taxi driver, King Arthur's close. He said, don't worry, we'll lose him at the next set of plays. Well, AI pacing, I mean, Franco. The IBR. Evening, Don Franco, hope you're well. Okay. Okay. And your answer, Michael, says, my chats get deleted when I post about things as well. It's the software, not Frank. If it flags the comment as controversial, it gets deleted. It's weird, that. And I haven't honestly been. I mean, Al Pacino. Yeah, Al Pacino. I love Al. Andy Nero. But the finest actor to come out of Italy, I know they're American, Italian, American, but the best was Marcello Mastroianni. Brilliant. In love with Sophia. They had great chemistry there. Yes, you do. I swear, of course. I love that. Thank you, Michael. I must have done something wrong. Johan, we're already living in. It's like anything. Honest. It's like anything. Shakespeare. Oh, what a terrible era in which idiots govern the blind. Think about that. In which idiots govern the blind. And that's going back to the latter part of the 1500s into the 1600s. What a terrible era in which idiots govern the blind. We're the blind because we can't do anything. Some people can't see anything. And what other people say, we don't see. Like that lad who was talking to about. Shocking. Cheers, Frank. It's a great show. Are you on tomorrow, legend? Yeah, tomorrow morning, the film and TV show, 10:30. Should have a laugh. Love that. Love that. So ta-ra, all happy week. Have a happy week. Yeah, ta-ra, all happy weekend. Yes. Let's obey Donna. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. And if you're still with us, can you press the like and subscribe just to get the algorithm up there? Cost nothing. You know that. Thanks, Johan. About the deleting, that is. Michael, Franco would never skip your chat. Thank you, Ben. Eric Scar. Oh, look at it. Eric Scar. Hey, Eric, can you subscribe and like? Because I'm going now. As he says, Eric, hello, Frank. I'm new to the channel. Up the mighty red. You'd never walk alone. Yes. Just missed my granddaughter. She's going to Wembley tomorrow. And I said to her, tell him where you're going tomorrow. And she never says Wembley. She said London. And then we're going to Wembley on Sunday. I've just bought her tickets. That's what she went out for before. Fancy. Bought a ticket for some show. I forget what it is. What she said. Eric says, I just did, Frank. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much, Eric. Mille grazie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Michael says, can't even chat, it seems. And Johan, thank you, Frank and Legends in the chat for another great chat. Have a great weekend. Thank you. For all you Liverpool fans, I'll be doing a watch along on Sunday. And as Michael says, I do a little bit of swearing. Well, I think I will be doing some swearing on Sunday to watch them. Just don't matter much. Even in Eric up the red, smash the likes, says T. And Bella says, Eric Schilling. Hi. Buonanotte, grazie Franco. And everyone. Just got back from a nice walk and listened to the chat. Win-win. Hope you all have a great weekend. Mille grazie. Mille grazie, Toscana. Forza. Forza. Forza Liverpool. Forza Rossi. Eric said, hello to you. And Eric says, Bella Italia. Hi. Lovely. And on that wonderful note, my good people, I'm going to say good night. Yes. I'm shattered. It's been great. Honest to God, it's been great tonight. Some of the comments have been absolutely wonderful. I'll let you again. It's been absolutely wonderful, you know, the comments. Some powerful comments. We've discussed most of them. I just wish that I could express my profound hatred for some people. I don't hate anybody. I really don't. I think it's a horrible word as well, hate. But you've got to have a hatred. When Johan, remember, said about the little princess, she's dead. That kills me. And the hatred goes out to these people. I just watched something on YouTube before about a wedding in Gaza. And outside you see all rubble and that, but they're having a wedding. And these IDF fellas firing guns over the air. Whatever they were showing in the Hebrew, get over it. Terrifying. Little kids as well there. Little kids. But they've been doing it for decades now. Remember that nurse? I was meant to tell you, well, I did tell you about the young lad until he stared at it. Shot in the leg. And a nurse, 21 years of age, with a white thing doing this, white. And there was an audio about it. And you hear the audio, two snipers, IDF snipers, saying, shall we shoot her? And yeah. What one? Yeah. Can I have a gun? Oh yeah, okay. And shot her in the fucking head. And they laughed. How could you forget that? And that was a couple of years ago. That was before all this fucking October the 7th bollocks. That's the excuse. Hamas, 7th of October, 1,700 dead, you know, and burning babies and fucking, a load of bollocks that was. Burning the babies, being debunked. And yet the lads never fucking come on my show again, ever. Might tell you one day who that is. But what a fucking prick. And that's what I just see that. It's like you never walk alone to me. I was there, the Hillsborough. And every time it gets played, you never walk alone. I choke up, can't sing. Because what I'm seeing is 97. Now I see an extra one there. And it's Diogo. It's Diogo. The IBR. Good night, Franco. Good night, IBR. So right, Frank, says Michael J. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Joke one, I forgot to send. The little old lady was frightened. She looked at me. She said, do something religious. So I took up a go. The hatred of evil is not hatred. It's called the conscience. Brilliant. 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 I'll give you one more. I had a meal last night. I ordered everything in French, surprised everybody. It was a Chinese restaurant. I thought I'd be made up with that. Not Chinese letters. And Eric says, Diogo forever in our hearts. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just see their family, kids, fucking girl. And his brother, Andre. Johan says, Simon, release the sequel before the original. Yes. Yes. I love that cheery note. Oh, there he is. Look. Hi, Frank. Great show. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. I'll be doing the Chinese, so don't be worrying. The Chinese, I think they're one of the most exploited races in the world. And there's these dibbies, well, Trump wanting to put like tariffs on China. One of the greatest intelligent nations on the planet, and do some great stuff. Technical. And yet they've been exploited for many, many years. Just ask who built the railways in America. Franco is like a rock band where they close the show and say goodnight and then come back for an encore. No, ABR, honestly. I have to try and say thank you to everyone. And Michael says, great show all the same. Fucking great. He says, I swear. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Lao Tzu. It does, doesn't it? It's brilliant, that. No matter what journey you take, it always starts with the first step. It's like everybody. You can take the right path or the wrong path. We do have, everybody has regrets in their lives. Everybody. I've had it for so many. But you always try to make up for it. I know I do anyway. Whether I'm right or wrong. Thank you for that great quote there. See you in the morning, Frank, the TV and film show. I'm off to watch Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I told you about Butch Cassidy, the real Butch Cassidy, didn't I? Stayed in Liverpool for 6 months. He came from a Mormon family. Stayed here for 6 months. And the IVR says, that's one classic film. Brilliant. And do you know what else I didn't know? One of the stars was gay. And I mean, out and out gay. Surprised me. I see the fucking hell. But anyway, that's for another day. I just want to say thank you for all the exceptional comments. Fantastic comments. Thank you so much. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be doing a watch along if you're not going to match, that is. And Monday night is the history. I've got my map there on the other screen here, the other monitor. And I wanted to get onto it, show you. Look at this. I haven't had a chance on Monday, but I will do it on Monday, this Monday. And as they say, thank you. Thank you. Ci vediamo. Ciao, Bella.